Hey folks, how you doing? Dave McRae here. I know what some of you are thinking. Oh God, McRae's talking Avatar again. Here he goes on his Avatar rant. I know. I feel like I'm becoming the gatekeeper of Avatar on my channel sometimes, but it's relevant. This video is relevant because the official teaser trailer and official teaser poster for Avatar was released to all of us, not just at CinemaCon or for those who went to go see Doctor Strange, in the Multiverse of Madness or whatever the heck it's called. It was released to everybody online. So, and that was yesterday. And it is no secret. It's no secret. I'm an unabashed Avatar fan. I don't think it's the greatest movie of all time. I don't think it's it's not my favorite movie, but certainly I really appreciated the original film. And I saw it 3 times in the movie theater. I rarely see a movie twice. I mean, I think I can count on one hand how many films I've seen twice in the movie theater. It's not much. I'm just not one of those people. There's some people I know that, go to see a movie like 13 times. And I'm like, 13? I just don't understand it. But hey, you know what? All power to you. But I wanted to talk about Avatar because I want to give some context to you for those of you that are tuning in. And, as to why maybe people like me are really excited for this movie. Now, I only speak for myself and I come at it from maybe a different perspective than maybe the average movie-going fan. As a filmmaker, as somebody who's been to film school, as somebody who studied film, as somebody who obviously has an appreciation for the filmmaking process and all the stages and the logistics that surround that. Again, I may be coming at this from a bit of a different, perspective than the average movie-going fan. So I only speak for myself. But let's start here, of course. So, it seems like it's the hip, cool thing to hate on Avatar, right? Fucking Avatar. Who cares? Nobody cares. Anybody asking for this shit? Does anybody care? It's got no pop culture footprint. Nobody cares. I didn't like it. Fucking blue big people walking around. Who fucking cares? It's been too long. You know what I'm saying? And you usually have several different camps of hatred, right? So we'll take Camp A. You have Camp A, which is usually just the echo chamber of recycled, overused cliches and hackneyed excuses, right? That you see on the Facebook comment section, in the Twitter comment section. It's Ferngully in space. It actually kind of is. It's Dances with Wolves and Pocahontas, and it's like, and they hang around with people that feel the same way, and they glom onto buzzwords and groupthink, right? And all their buddies are saying it. And, it's like, hey, it's Ferngully in space, and their buddy behind them's like, yeah, it's Ferngully in space. What he said. And then you got Bob over here going, it's fucking Pocahontas, man. They fucking ripped off Pocahontas, and then his buddy's going, yeah, what he said. They ripped off Pocahontas, yeah. And listen, that doesn't mean that there's not any validity to some of what they're saying in terms of the parallels between Pocahontas and Ferngully and Avatar. Of course, I'm not trying to say that they're incorrect. I'm just saying that it's very difficult to take any of you seriously when you're just recycling these cliches in this echo chamber. It's like, do you have an original thought anywhere? It's just a sea of the same. I could swear it's just copy and paste all the way down. Anyway, so you have those people, right? You got those people. And then you have Camp B, who are people that may or may not feel the same way, but are usually not online spewing this. They just didn't like the movie. It just wasn't for them. They didn't necessarily loathe it, but they couldn't care less if they made another one, right? And they're not online talking about it. It came, it went, it was okay. It wasn't really a thing. They couldn't care less if they ever made another one, right? You get those people, okay? And then you get Camp C, and sometimes you can have a combination of all three, but then you get Camp C, who are people that didn't like it, are online talking about how much they didn't like it, but they can go beyond the echo chamber. They can go beyond the hackneyed excuses and overused cliches, right? They can go beyond all that and actually intellectualize some original thoughts and actually, tell you, I didn't like, this, that, I wasn't crazy, whatever the case is. And sometimes I, like, hey, you know what? That's actually a good point. That's actually, and I'm like, no, I disagree with that, right? So you have several different camps and all that kind of stuff, okay? But it is no secret that I am an unabashed Avatar fan. So why am I an Avatar fan? Why am I not online going, it's fucking Pocahontas in space? It actually kind of is. But why am I not online, jumping in with everybody going, yeah, fucking Avatar, piece of shit. Why am I not doing that? Well, here is why, okay? It's because I have, and I'm not saying that you guys don't, okay? I'm just talking about myself. I really enjoyed that first movie. Saw it 3 times in the movie theater. I rarely see anything past 2 times. Saw it with 3 different people. It was a spectacle. Something Avatar does not shy away from, makes no apologies for. is the spectacle of it all. That's what it's all about. It's about the technology. You have a visionary filmmaker in James Cameron. Remember who's making this. I think he's the only Hollywood director in history that's ever been to the bottom to see the Titanic and the Marianas Trench, the deepest part of the Pacific Ocean. You know, the deepest part of the world, essentially. Okay? I mean, he's a visionary. He's all about tech and technology and advancing, you know, our experience in the movie theater or wherever. Do you know what I'm saying? So yes, it never, of course, and it's set against the backdrop of a classical story that's been told before. But hey, I'm okay with that as long as it's well executed, right? You know what I mean? With good characters, has a beginning, a middle, and an end. You know, everything makes sense. It's competently made. It's exciting. I'm all for it. Ferngully in space. Count me in. Count me in. You know what I'm saying? Ferngully's an amazing movie. You know, and I'm okay with that. All right, because it's really all about the tech. And Avatar was fucking amazing. The best 3D I've ever seen. I loathe 3D. I hate, you know, in that run there shortly after Avatar where every movie was having the 3D transfer and you couldn't find a fucking 2D movie if your life depended on it. And you had to wait like 2 weeks before that movie that was in 3D would finally be in 2D, but it would move down the hall into a smaller theater with 10 seats and you'd be like, oh, fuck, this sucks. You know what I'm saying? Now it's not so much anymore. But Avatar, it was like a fucking, it was spectacular. It was something we've never seen before. It was an event, right? Now we've seen it 500,000 times thanks to Avatar. But it was amazing. It was amazing. So here we are, 13 years later, James Cameron finally creating Avatar 2. Yes, should it have come out years ago? Sure. Okay, but there were reasons for delays. It's not like James Cameron sitting on his ass, just sitting there going, nah, fuck it. No, of course not. There's a multitude of reasons for why the delay. Okay, technology as well that they used again in Avatar The Way of Water ceased to exist before Avatar The Way of Water, and it's going to be another spectacle feast. Will the story be, you know, classical or, you know, a bit pedestrian again, maybe, I don't know. But if there's one thing that James Cameron can do very well is tell a pretty pedestrian story pretty fucking effectively. Okay, so, okay, fine, I'm in. You know, show me the evolution of film. Show me the evolution of technology. You know, I mean, it doesn't mean you gotta completely abandon story. Story is important, and I've always said, even on this channel, the most important thing about a movie is a story. But I get what Avatar is, right? We make no excuses here. We know what this is about. We know the point of this. We get it. It's fucking amazing. It's incredible. And I mean, listen, get this, okay? I don't know if some of you know this, but this is one of the things that get me really excited as a film fan, as a filmmaker. This is what gets me really excited, right? Is that technology again, advancing. Wow, it's fucking amazing. Bring me into another world. You know, it's almost like virtual reality without it being virtual reality. Like that's how crazy this shit is, right? I don't know if you guys know this, but the underwater scenes in Avatar The Way of Water were actually shot underwater. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Well, who cares? They shoot movies underwater all the time. Yes, but this is motion capture underwater, right? Special motion capture suits were created specifically for this. A 900,000 gallon tank was specifically created for these sequels. So James Cameron could shoot underwater, because generally what productions like to do is shoot for something called, I think it's called dry to wet or something like that, or wet to dry. I think it's dry to wet, which is essentially they harness everybody on rigs and things like that. They shoot against, you know, blue screen, green screen, what have you. And they animate, of course, to make it look like it's underwater and all that kind of jazz. But James Cameron didn't want that. He was like, no, I want to fucking shoot underwater. Of course, the Hollywood director that's been to see the Titanic and the bottom of the Marianas Trench, of course he wants to shoot underwater, because he's a fucking visionary. He wants to take it to the next level. He wants to push the boundaries of filmmaking. That's what he wants to do. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Let's see what you got, Jim. Let's see what you got. So he's mo-capping underwater because he said, you know, yes, we could do dry for wet, sure, but it doesn't look the same, right? The way people move actually underwater, the way the light pierces the water and shines on you, the way, you know, the skin moves underwater, the hair, the way it flows. I mean, we can get pretty good, you know, and we can make, sure, but it's nothing like the real thing. I want to fucking shoot this shit underwater. Now, obviously, he's not actually in the ocean. Okay, that would be a whole other set of logistical problems. So all of the ocean life that you see surrounding, the Na'vi swimming and all that kind of stuff, sure, is animated and added in. But their movements and the way everything's moving and it's fucking unreal. It's unreal. This is something that I don't think's ever been done before. And again, he's pushing the boundaries with the cameras that we're using, the motion capture suits that we're using, everything that is happening. And it's like, fuck, this is going to be another spectacle. This is going to be wild. This is going to be wild. It's going to be unreal. And also, too, that 900,000 gallon tank can mimic ocean currents and waves. So, I mean, it's going to be crazy. They're mocapping underwater. I know the average movie-going fan probably doesn't even know what motion capture is. The average fan, right? Let me just tell you, that's crazy. That's crazy. They're not putting people on wires against green screen, making them appear like they're underwater. No, they're actually underwater. That's crazy. So the hyper-realism is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see it. And yes, it's a classical story. I get it. It's a story that's been told before. It's well told in typical James Cameron fashion. It's repackaged and delivered to you against the backdrop of a spectacle, right? Of an event. And it's great. I can't wait to see what he does with Avatar: The Way of Water, because the hyper-realism, like that close-up shot of Neytiri, I think it was, in the teaser, wow, the subtle blinks and stuff, like it literally looks like a person in prosthetics and makeup. And it's like, it's not. I mean, it's a real person being motion captured, but in terms of, the way the Na'vi look, it's like, fuck, it's unreal. It's unreal. And that's why you go. That's why you go. Ultimately, that's why you go. Right? So I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited for it. Now, the last thing I want to say is about box office, because I think there are some people, especially from Camp A, that are going to rip into Avatar because it is unlikely to make $2.8 billion at the worldwide box office. Yeah, you're right. It is unlikely to make that much. Not because it's necessarily going to suck or nobody wants to go see it, but, sequels very rarely make as much as their predecessors. It's a different climate we're in now. It's 2022, not 2009. There's many more options. There's streaming. Not as many people are going to the movie theater, right? There's a blockbuster coming out every weekend, essentially. There's more variables at play now, okay? But don't kid yourself. Avatar: The Way of Water is going to be $1 billion movie. It might even be a $1.5 billion movie, knocking on 2. Maybe. I don't know for sure. I don't know what the studio's expectations are, okay, or what the projections will be. We're a little far out from that yet. But don't kid yourself. It's not going to make $50 million at the box office and die, all right? I mean, don't sleep on this movie. That's all I'll say. You don't have to like it. You don't have to go see it. You don't have to support it. But I'm just saying, do not be surprised if all of a sudden it ends up, finishing around 1.6 billion or whatever it is. Like, well, yeah. It's Avatar. It's a spectacle. Maybe even knocking on 2. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. That's all I'm going to say, man. So that's what I want to say. If you hate Avatar, all power to you. All power to you. But for me, I really enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the spectacle. I appreciated the repackaged telling of a familiar story, because really what was truly important was the advancement in this technology and this world building that James Cameron is doing. All the world building he did in that first movie and that he's going to continue to do for the next films is crazy, so I'm excited about it. Anyways, folks, my name's Dave McRae. Comment below and let me know your thoughts on how much you loathe and despise Avatar. How much you hate Fern Gully in space. They should make a movie called Fern Gully in Space. That'd be awesome. Comment below and let me know your thoughts. If you want to follow me on social media, there I am there. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All my links are in the description. Check them out until your heart's content. And when your heart is content, check them out again. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. In the meantime and in between time, I will talk to you soon. Cheers.